What's going on? Uh, there's a freaking Illuminati card deck card called Saturday Morning freaking Cartoons, and it's like I remember my grandpa used to say that on the cartoons. He said, "Man, all these cartoons with monsters, they're just trying to get you prepared for when the basically he said the like in the times of old, basically the monsters will come back because it's basically the fallen angels created these things, according to the. Uh, I mean, it's not just the Bible, but you could also look at the Hellenistic viewpoint, and they're like Zeus and them would have sex with a freaking bull, and it'd make the Minotaur, for instance. But anyway, yeah, man, Saturday morning cartoons, man. I remember this cartoon. Thinking back on it now, it's like it had Nancy Reagan on it and Ronald Reagan, and they were like, it was about crack, and it showed the kid even smoking crack. I know that sounds horrible, and especially with me to laugh about it like that, but that's how freaking crazy it is. Is that like they were actually promoting crack, showing you how to smoke crack, and basically they put the idea in your head through Saturday morning cartoons, and they unleash like a monster. Because if you ever met someone with a real bad drug problem, it's like they got a monkey on their back. Sometimes these monkeys are like gorillas with bat wings and big axes and pointy tails. But anyway, the other day, freaking seen a VHS of there was an old cartoon, dude, from when I was growing up, and it was called He-Man, and it had this dude named Skeletor on it. You know what I'm saying? Skeletor was a bad dude, and it's like I only watched like 3 minutes of it, and right away, it was like, why is he wearing pink tights? So it's like basically He-Man has an alter ego in his normal mode of trance operation. He's wearing pink tights, very effeminate voice. He had this weird like medieval type like bowl haircut, you know, that you'd expect to see on like Machiavelli. Uh, and he talks like look, it was just he was flaming, dude. He was like he wasn't Johnny Blaze, but he was flame on. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes, He-Man, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like he switches, and he's wearing less clothing now, and he's got this like Sado leather strap outfit, and his pet, this cat, this tiger that's like it's really cowardly. But then after he hits it with the He-Man freaking, and he points his sword at him, like, you know, his sword, you know what I'm saying, like sword fighting, like two men sword fighting at night with no witnesses. If you look at the undertones in that just alone right there, I didn't never seen it before like it, but it's like they've always laid it on real thick, because and this is examples of it, because I had no freaking idea when I was a kid. I used to watch this stuff, but the dude is in pink tights, and he's got this really effeminate voice, and then he has this like he basically goes in a closet and comes out, and he's got the Sado leather strap outfit, and he's talking with this real deep voice now, and he's like real gung ho. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. Then crazier than that, once again got a VHS of this movie called Lost Boys, and I used to watch it all the time when I was young, and never noticed this stuff before. But basically, the dude in the movie's in a freaking bathtub, and he's singing. He's going, "I'm not a boy, I'm not a girl." He says that like never even never uh never caught it before. You know what I mean? And because I had no gaydar, basically, so it's like if you don't have gaydar, all these things will pass right. They'll go right over your head anyway. And he's in the bathtub singing, washing. He's naked. You know what I'm saying? And next scene, like, he's in his room and it scrolls by real fast over this freaking poster on the wall. And if you look at the poster on the wall, and I barely seen it, it's only there for a second, but I could tell it looked like it was this dude named Rob Lowe in a cheerleading outfit, standing there like in a kind of a sexy-ish looking pose. And it's like you would never notice it unless you were like looking. And then immediately after that, the dude, it scrolls by the dude that was in the bathtub singing, and he's looking all like really like cowardly, like when you see a dog like with his tail between his legs, he's sitting there all like look demoralized, right? And it was like, if you look close, it looks like he's wearing a woman's like business outfit where it's like a skirt and a blouse, but it was, once again, it was so fast and done in such a way you wouldn't even notice it. So it was like, in a way, they're freaking like making people look like it's weird. Why would you do that other than to like make fun of someone? You know what I mean? And it's like they do it right in front of people, like, you know, such a way that you don't even see it. But yet, it's like if you go back and look at it and be like, what the heck? You know, if it does escape you, and then you go back and look and realize, like, look, they've done this in front of you all this time and you never realized before. And then you start to see it more and more, like, whoa, they did that there and there and there. Like with the He-Man thing, that, yeah, man. So it goes that far back. This was in the 80s when He-Man was a Saturday morning cartoon. And it's just, it's showcased in the card on the Illuminati card deck. And then you just go back, like I said, and then it's got crack, crack, crack cartoons like, don't do crack. But it's like, that's the first time I ever heard about crack was from Saturday morning cartoons. It wasn't from hood niggas. It wasn't from rap music. It was actually from Saturday morning cartoons, I think from Nancy Reagan. Nancy Reagan, who's introduced me to crack. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how the whole thing works. You know what I'm saying? He-Man, pink tights. And then, you know, then even it was there in the movie, like, look, your favorite freaking movie that you used to watch growing up. I mean, those are the best ones to go back and look at because I think, look, here's one I used to really like when I was a kid, Howard the Duck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you go back and look at that, that had some crazy multi-dimensional paradoxical type stuff. But now you look at like the CERN machine and the time travel, the Montauk, you know, the MJ-12 type stuff, and Howard the Duck looks like more believable than what they tell you on the news. You know what I'm saying? And it's freaking a conundrum, and it is paradoxical.